a.m.
Welcome to the 1 o'clock no sour haha funny hour. No sour happy fun time haha power hour. Welcome to the no sour fun time haha power hour.
Oh, she did it.
I got it.
I think she's got it. By George, she's got it. By George, she's got it.
Moving Wisconsin forward, one joke at a time. This is Kristen Bry with As Goes Wisconsin.
Yada, yada, yada.
Hello, Wisconsin!
Hello, Wisconsin. Welcome to the No Sour Haha Fun Time Power Hour on this Tuesday, sunny afternoon, April 11th. We are so excited to have the last hour with a lot of talk about entertainments and ticketing. In fact, in the bottom of the hour, would you like to go back to buying your tickets in person if it meant you didn't have to pay any more Ticketmaster fees? Some people, like Maggie Rogers, are starting to do just that. So we will talk about that then. But right now, we are so happy to welcome our guest, Kristopher Pollard, who is the membership manager over at Milwaukee Film Festival, because Milwaukee Film Festival kicks off April 20th. It's back. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So this is exciting. It's back. It's a ton of movies. This has to be the largest film festival in Wisconsin.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, I know a few years back we did a study to see where we ranked in the country even, and we were top 10 in a lot of categories that even we were surprised by. The length of it for sure, the number of films we have, and our attendance, and this is pre-pandemic, but our attendance was really getting up there. I think we had 84,000 or 87,000 the last time, but before the pandemic.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, that's really impressive, Kristopher. I can remember when it first started and thinking, what a cute idea. Aren't these people cute? This is Milwaukee. This is never going to fly. And to see what it has turned into is remarkable.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's very nice to see. I mean, not only has the festival really bloomed in the, 15 festivals that we've had, but the Milwaukee film industry has really, being here in my position, in the festival, you can really see the advancement of it as the years go on. There was one year we had one Milwaukee show, which is where we show local film shorts. And we were, putting that together. And then there was a year which we're like, well, we have so much good work. We have to do two now. And then now we do two. Then we did two and music videos. We separated that out. And then features started becoming bigger and better. So it's really nice to see, not just, we're happy to be blossoming, but to see the film industry here blossom.
And do you attribute the film industry in Milwaukee blossoming? I know UWM has a really good film program, but what is it about? Because unfortunately, we still don't have tax credits to draw Hollywood to Wisconsin. Not yet. I know people are advocating for that. But what do you think it is as far as the culture in general starting to grow here?
It's a good question. I think there's a lot. I know from our position, that was one of, I've been here 11 years, but that's not, that was a few years after it started. But when they started, one of the goals was to help not only showcase local talent, but keep it here and find ways to financially support them and connect them with people, in the industry that can help really just bring everyone together so we can flourish. And I feel like there's been a lot of opportunities. We've grown a lot of those. We found others, but also there's just talented people here. This is one of the reasons I'm originally from Missouri.
Oh.
And when I moved here over 20 years ago, one of the things that drew me to this city was the fact there's so many talented, filmmakers, artists, musicians. There's a lot of talent in this city. And it always struck me as sad that sometimes people outside of the city didn't know that. So it's really nice to see some of these folks not only, like I said, blossoming, but they're getting attention. They've gone to, we've had filmmakers from Milwaukee go to Sundance, go to South by Southwest and other really prestigious festivals and do really well. So, I mean, I give all the credit to the artists, obviously.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. We're talking to Kristopher Pollard, who is the membership manager at Milwaukee Film Festival, because it kicks off on April 20th. So let's get a little bit more of the details of what is in store for this year's festival. So it starts April 20th, goes to May 4th.
Absolutely.
What else should people know?
We've got a lot of great films coming up. The opening night film is a great kickoff. You always have to have a really good kickoff to a film festival. The opening night film is a perfect one. It is called Mom and Dad's Nipple Factory.
Nice.
That's all I really need to say, except other than the fact that it's actually, despite an addition to the title, it's a very sweet, heartwarming story, and it is an Eau Claire filmmaker, and he made this film about his family, who his mom sadly had to go through, as she was a survivor of cancer, and she had to get a mastectomy, and the family wanted to help her make her feel whole again, and they started designing these fake nipples. So that what began as something just for the family turned into an enterprise to help thousands of women kind of feel whole again after their surgeries and whatnot. It's a beautiful story and a great local filmmaker, and the filmmaker and a lot of folks from the film will be in attendance that night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I think I read that title on the homepage, Milwaukee, MKEfilm.org.
Yeah.
You can go check out everything right now. And I was like, that is
great
quite
title.
the title.
Yeah, it's really good. That's going to draw you in. You're going to be at least curious.
So then overall, there's how many different movies will air between the two weeks?
Yeah, I had to write it down because I'll never remember this. There's 135 feature films, but with all the shorts, there's over 280 films. But out of the 135 features, 148 short films, all of them will screen at least once in the cinema, and you have about 40% that'll be available virtually. Virtually, you can only access if you have the All Access Pass.
Okay.
That's the only way we're able to do it this year. But if you have that pass, you can watch those at home. But really, the focus is like the in-person movies. It's bringing back the amount of fun you have coming to the festival and seeing everybody there, and all the excitement is really what it's all about.
Kristopher, one of my sisters has been a member for the last couple of years, and she loves the in-person events because you're bringing together movie lovers, and it really is its own community of people. So she just loves it and has raved about it, and how interesting people are and friendly, and it's a great community.
I'm really glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, our membership program is fantastic. And I think what you might be even talk about is one of the best perks of our membership program is every month we have a film that's just for our members. We invite them in, we pick it out just for them. It's not playing at the theater otherwise. And everyone comes together, over 2 screenings in one day. And it is like opening night kind of every month, because you get hundreds of people coming in to watch this film. We go up and say hi. And we make a good variety throughout the year from these screenings. So it's like a little taste of the festival all year, and then we come together in April to get the big one out.
That is so fun. And so what else as far as being a membership? So you get obviously part of, like, there's perks for the festival itself. You do the weekly, the monthly screenings. And so what else are kind of the perks of becoming a member?
Oh, sure. Well, at the basic level membership, everyone gets invited to the monthly films. You get discounts on essentially everything we do. The Oriental Theater we run year round, so you get tickets, discounts on tickets, concessions, and then you get early access to the festival tickets. Like right now, members are buying tickets as of yesterday and today. And then tomorrow, the 12th, that's when the rest of the community can buy tickets. So it's nice to have a little early access. So those are the general benefits, but I mean, you also get a lot of communication about other various stuff we're doing throughout the year. And then at different levels, as you go up, there's a t-shirt at the next level, there's some tickets at the next level above that. And then our higher level members, get like passes and things like that.
Kristopher, just on the off chance, is there any opportunity to talk to actual producers and pitch them an idea about an old female radio veteran and her younger counterpart working on a radio station in Waukesha, WAUK?
Yeah, we have a very specific event catered to just that exact premise. It's weird that we haven't even launched it yet. It's weird that you knew about it. Yeah, just check our lineup. You'll find a couple instances of those. Just thought you can sign up.
Yeah,
You do actually get to. It's great to see all the guests that we have come in. We have a lot of directors and producers and actors who come in, and there's great Q&As afterwards. And sometimes we do have like industry get together mixers and things like that during the fest. So it's a great thing for networking.
Absolutely. And so I when we come back, there's a couple more questions I want to ask, because I definitely am interested in how things have been post-pandemic. Because obviously this is 3 years, and I think movie going in general has been something that we're realizing, like, people still love going to the movies despite all of the streaming options that are available. But I also want to hear more beyond the nipples. What other movies are coming up? Do you have one specifically that you're excited beyond that one that you're like, I can't wait to see this?
do. Do you want me to tell you now or after?
Tell us now, and then we'll come back and talk about some of the other ones.
I'm very excited about it. And it's Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee's 50th anniversary of Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
I have a vested interest in it, so I'll tell you about that after.
On the other side, so it's not a new movie; it's replaying.
That one is one of our
movie?
classics. We have a handful of classics that we'll show, and we're showing this is like the best martial arts movie of all time. Bruce Lee's an icon, and it's the 50th anniversary, so we're showing that. I
have to admit, I've never seen it.
I will see you there then. This is the best time to see it.
Perfect. I'm sure my husband would love to go see it, honestly. So you could hold me to that. We're talking to Kristopher Pollard, who is the membership manager at Milwaukee Film Festival, which starts April 20th, goes until May 4th. You can start buying your tickets tomorrow, but he will be here on the other side of the break to tell us more about the different films that are going to be there. This is As Goes Wisconsin.
I think of all the money I paid for making movie movies. For making movie movies. For making movie I don't wanna be a producer. I don't wanna be a big star. I just wanna be a picture director. That's gonna make my final cigar. I'm making movie movies. I'm making movie movies. I'm making movie movies. I'm making movie movies. I'm making movie movies.
Max Inc. Radio with Dennis Graham from Wisconsin.
Appreciate all the support of Mad Radio 92.7. And by the way, a tip of the hat to Civic Media. That was a great article in the Cap Times by Paul Fanlin. You guys got a great model that you're growing around the state, local interest with radio stations throughout these different markets.
All right. Well, that was fun. So when we come back, we'll just kind of go through other movies that are going to air. We can briefly touch on how attendance has increased year over year and what you guys are expecting for this year, and then kind of go over again how people can find tickets and make sure they go.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
4 times the fun, 4 times the excitement, 4 times the reasons you need to get to the Oasis Project's May 4th Splash for Cash event at Springwater Park. Join us for a day of fun in 45,000 square foot indoor water park, water slide, activity pools, game arcade, snack shop, 50-50 raffle,
All right, I won!
and 100 envelope wall. Go to oasisprojectwi.org/splash. That's oasisprojectwi.org/splash.
Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. Daytime highs approaching 76 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Winds out of the west 10 to 15 miles an hour. Clear skies tonight, lows around 55. High temperatures reach up to 80. Tomorrow, bright sunshine expected. dry with temps well above average Thursday and Friday, and highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 72 degrees.
The Shaw 101 FM, your fix for progressive talk. From Muskego to Milwaukee, always streaming at WAUKradio.com.
Welcome back to As Goes Wisconsin. I am Kristen Bry. She is Jane Madnair, and we are talking to Kristopher Pollard, who is the membership manager at Milwaukee Film Festival, which kicks off April 20th. You can buy your tickets starting tomorrow at mkefilm.org. And how have things been since, obviously, we're in the 3-year mark since we all got blessed with COVID as a culture and a society. And so how have things been in the years since, as you start, because as you said, before the pandemic, you guys were at like 80,000 some people coming, which is wild. And so how's it been building back up to that?
Well, it's interesting. And it's really interesting looking year round too at the theater, at the Oriental Theater. All theaters got hit right after, during, obviously. And even when we reopened, everyone was very cautious to go back in. We do see that growth. The people are coming back slowly but surely. So it is nice to see people come back. We even recently did some focus groups with our members, and we've done surveys kind of asking them their comfort level. It was interesting and I do get a lot of people emailing say, I'm still not comfortable, or I take care of somebody who's a lot more susceptible. So there's a lot of those individual voices I hear, but I also hear a lot of people saying, no, I'm 100% comfortable coming back. More than anything, I feel like the slowness coming back has to do with people getting used to watching stuff at home. Almost more than the fear of getting COVID at this point, at least. Early in the days, obviously, that was the biggest problem. But now it's just like I got so used to watching things, it's harder to leave, which is a shame, because seeing films in the theater, I mean, I've noticed, I'm a film person, but even before I was like really deeply into it, it was just such a special experience when you go and you hear everyone laughing at the same time or gasping. It's just 100% different experience. So, but we have been noticing people coming back. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I would admit that I am the first one to, when I watch something at home, the likelihood that I am simultaneously playing some kind of game on my phone, rather than just paying attention to the movie, versus that is rude in a movie theater. And pay attention.
Exactly. No, I mean, we all do it for sure. And we needed to do it for quite a while. But I always make it's like triage for me. Like, which films do I need to see this in the theater? Yeah. And there's usually one of those a week at least. But yeah, there's some films I seek out at home because I'm really not very interested in them. And I know full well I'm not going to pay attention, but I'll watch that because I don't care that much.
In the background.
And not to ask you to pick favorites, Kristopher, because I'm sure that's impossible, but we really are blessed with the Oriental Theater is a wonderful gem that we still have. And we still have some of those little older movie houses that the festival utilizes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The Oriental, which by the way, just very recently became listed on the national list of historic places. We're incredibly excited about that. But we're so lucky. We have such a nice footprint here of theaters in Milwaukee. This year, we're using the Time Cinema in Wauwatosa, and we're using the Avalon. And the Avalon, with the beautiful skyscape that they have. And the Times reminds me of like the first cool college theater I went to when I was in Missouri. I got to go to St. Louis to the cool theater. The Times reminds me of that. So we've got some really great theaters here, and we're not using the Downer Theater in the festival this year, but that's always a delight to go to as well. That's been around over 90 years.
Oh wow!
So we've had we're kind of blessed here. I mean, but back in the day, Milwaukee had, I want to say, hundreds. That's maybe an exaggeration, but we had dozens of movie theaters like in like the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Well, what's wild to me, and then I do want to get to how to navigate the festival, but have you been in the new the symphony orchestra that they just
the
Bradley?
haven't.
I mean, that was a movie theater. It's so gorgeous. of like the detail and how big it was. And it's like, this is where people watched movies.
Yeah, I know. It's what I mean. People wore hats.
Yeah.
Let's not forget. If people went when the Oriental Theater first opened, everyone in there hat or a full dress.
Touche. All right. So for a lay person who hasn't been tracking and waiting with bated breath on all the movies that are going to be at the film festival, how do you begin to navigate 135 features, let alone 200 films in general, as far as like what to prioritize, what are you looking for? What would you suggest?
Well, the first thing you do is you go to the website, go to mkefilm.org if you want to go directly /festival guide, but you can find it from our homepage. And we have a few fields where you can break it down by category or by country. And we have some great categories. We have the Black Lens program, which is directed by Black directors. We've got Cine San Fronteras. We've got Art and Artist. Documentaries are sectioned out. So you've got a lot of different categories where you can kind of refine what you're looking for. I suggest, honestly, just dig in, go through it alphabetically, because you'll find stuff that you wouldn't have thought, that you wouldn't have looked for. I always like to pick stuff that I know I'm going to like. Oh, this is the comedy that I like, that kind of thing. But then I always like, if I go to a festival, pick one that I might not normally pick, because I love it when people are surprised by something that they wouldn't have normally been exposed to.
That is very, very good advice.
But also, as of this Friday, our program book will be out around town. It'll be at all our theaters. It'll be at Associated Banks and Collectivos and a bunch of different places. And you can get our program book as well if you prefer more physical interaction.
If you want to circle the actual
people
things
love to circle. They love to circle. I do too.
All right. Well, Kristopher Pollard, thank you so much for spending time with us today. This got me very excited to go buy my tickets. I will see you at Enter the Dragon.
Perfect.
But get your tickets. Definitely support Milwaukee Film Festival. It is such a gem and a treasure to have in our backyard.
Oh, thank you so much. This was great.
All right. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
We'll be back in just a minute to talk about whether or not you are down to sit in line to get your tickets for a concert instead of paying those fees to Ticketmaster. Yes? No? Let us know. 844-967-2789.
The Shaw 101 FM, Brookfield's choice for news talk radio. Streaming 24/7 at WAUKradio.com.
CBS News Brief. Police in Kentucky say the shooter who killed 5 people yesterday in Louisville bought his gun just a week before carrying out the massacre. Police Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villarreal.
He purchased the weapon used in this tragic incident on April the 4th. He purchased the weapon legally from one of the local dealerships here in Louisville.
State Rep Justin Jones has been reinstated in Tennessee, and Justin Pearson could be next. He talked to CBS's Mark Strassman.
Why is it important for them to appoint you, not for you, but as a message?
It is important that we send a clear message that the people in District 86 representation matters, and that this illegitimate disenfranchisement of their vote and of their choice is wrong.
The Pentagon's still tracking online leaks of highly classified documents. CBS's Kimmy McCormick.
The Pentagon says senior leaders are taking steps to mitigate the damage. The White House says there are concerns there could be further leaks.
CBS News Brief.
The Shaw 101 FM, WAUK 540 AM, Waukesha's only news talk station.
For Civic Media, I'm Jane Matnair. Here's what you need to know. After 86 years of serving students, Milwaukee's Cardinal Stritch University is closing at the end of this spring semester. President Dan Schultz citing falling enrollments, the COVID-19 pandemic, and an ongoing need for more resources. The school will offer some resources over the summer to help students who are close to finishing their graduation requirements, and is also working with other local universities for students who want to transfer their credits. About a third of undergrads at Cardinal Stritch are Pell Grant recipients, which are awarded to those who are most in need. If you do your taxes online, be careful that hackers don't steal your refund or your information. You want to file through a credible website or an app. Don't do your taxes on a public Wi-Fi network. And remember, the IRS will never send you a text or an email about your refund. I'm Jane Matnair. This is Civic Media News.
Civic Media promised you something big to celebrate our new and still growing network of radio stations. When we announced the one-day $1 million advertising giveaway for Wisconsin businesses, you responded.
Just wanted to echo your sentiments about the advertising. That's really a cool deal and really remarkable.
$1 million of free advertising. Now, if you missed this chance to work with our team, go to civicmedia.us and click on the sponsorship tab. One of our local sales pros will get right back to you. civicmedia.us and sponsorship.
Hey, this is Matt from Design Garden. Remember when the internet was new? Back then, you had to leave your house to start a business. Companies used to pay programmers bags of cash to get online. Now, small businesses can get online with a Facebook business page, or Squarespace, or Google My Business, or WordPress. But which tools should you use? Can you afford to go down the wrong path? Design Garden uses modern tools to build your website the right way. Find us online at design.garden. Again, that's design.garden.
Hey, this is Jim Santel. I am the host of Morning Cannolis. Every single Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we talk about the major stories in law, in government, and the aspiration for justice in America. Delighted to have you join, call in, and be a part of our discussion right here on the networks of Civic Media.
You've got questions about navigating the healthcare system? Kristen Lyerly helps us find answers and discusses other issues at the intersection of healthcare and politics. Hometown Health, Thursday mornings at 7:30 on Up North News Radio.
I count my diamond doggies, swimming in seven.
Would you like to go back to buying concert tickets in person? 844-967-2789. We could also just keep listening to Maggie Rogers. Her music is just very, very listenable. But we play her because that is exactly what she did this week. So Maggie Rogers is a young, I don't even know how to describe her besides she's an incredible voice. She's a great singer. She is kind of like indie rock, I guess. But she posted on her Instagram, or on her Twitter, basically, in an effort to eliminate bots and lower fees, I'm going analog. Come buy a ticket like it's 1965. I'll be in person selling tickets at Music Hall of Williamsburg tomorrow for the Forest Hills show. See you there. And then she links to the local box office information. And this is, I think fans are sick and tired of Ticketmaster and the gross amount of fees you have to pay. The fact that bots get in there and suck up all the tickets and then they resell them at such a higher price. The system of buying tickets feels very broken. And we've heard artist after artist who is equally frustrated that this monopoly exists for you to feel like you have to go through Ticketmaster when you're selling your tickets, and then your fans get screwed.
Pretty much.
And so I wonder if this will start a wave of going old school and going back and sitting in line and knowing, it's worth it because you're not giving your money to Ticketmaster. You're not overpaying. And it's part of the ritual of going to a concert.
I can remember doing that.
Of course, yeah.
And I have to say, Maggie, you don't have to go back to 1965 to be standing in line for tickets, because we were doing that in the late 70s.
People probably were doing that until the 90s. Ticketmaster and all of this stuff, doing stuff online like this, hasn't. I mean, I guess maybe could you buy tickets via phone at some point and not have to necessarily do it in person, but you still had to talk to a representative to buy your tickets and you were probably
Yeah.
sitting on hold for a long time?
Yes, because things were not automated at that point. But again, originally, out of your 10 friends who want to go to the show, you decide who's going to go and stand in line for tickets. And it was either at the box office of the venue or, and correct me if I'm wrong, at 844-967-2789. I want to say that Sears had a desk somewhere where you could go buy tickets, concert tickets.
That's interesting.
Yeah, now most Sears are gone, but
Yes, but as far as a central location of some sort where you could go buy tickets. But 844-967-2789. Would you be down for this? Would you gladly give up the convenience, but yet the headache of buying tickets through Ticketmaster and instead go back and buy them in person? Because people did it. I mean, there was a reporter for Vice wrote about I went to Maggie Rogers' ticket sale and this is how it went. And so basically it was like a 5-hour line. And so she arrived I think an hour or two. She decided to check out the New York City presale. And she's a fan, but she's never been to any of Maggie Rogers' concerts due to the exact reason that she lists. It's because every time Maggie Rogers tickets go on sale, they're gone almost immediately, or the prices are so insane that she's like, I can't do this on a Vice journalist budget.
right?
and
$500 tickets? No.
no, I mean, I think it's sometimes even $100 in fees. It's not even the ticket price. I've seen screenshots of the final receipt of some of these things where it's $92 in fees by the time it's done.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And so she said she got to the box office at 9 a.m., which is an hour before ticket sales started, and the line was already wrapped around 3/4 of a block. As someone who waited in many New York City lines, this was not surprising. I knew I was in for a long wait. But as a journalist, she was able to then talk to a number of people waiting in line. And for the most part, felt like waiting in line for concert tickets was much more preferable than going through Ticketmaster. Now, granted, this is like Brooklyn. This is Williamsburg in New York. It's a younger crowd. I think there's like a swing back into analog is cool and
retro.
Like the retro hipster vibe. But like, I've been pretty honest that I don't sit in a lot of lines. I also don't go to nearly as many concerts as I probably would enjoy doing if I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things that I just don't track as closely as far as who's coming. Let's go. I'm excited to go hang out in Summerfest and stuff like that, but I am not an avid concert goer. So I would say when I really want to go, it's the convenience of Ticketmaster has been good. But I don't know. There's something kind of cool and special as far as like the effort to get in and actually put your time in to get the ticket. That is, I'm not against more artists. Granted, she was also there. So I'm sure that was a draw.
That certainly helps when you're going to have the artist there. But just think about you're hanging around with like-minded people. And you're all fans of this artist, and I think of some of the conversations I would have waiting in line for the women's bathroom at Summerfest. And you have some great conversations with people that makes the time go faster and also adds to the experience while you're waiting. 844-967-2789. Would you be willing to go back to buying concert tickets in person? Thank you, Tom from West Dallas corrected me. Sears back in the day had Ticketron. So I'm thinking Ticketron. Yep.
Like Megatron?
Yes, it was Ticketron. And that was probably the early precursor to what we have now.
But I also thinking about calling for, like, if you didn't work waiting in line, but calling for tickets. I have vague memories of booking your airline tickets through a customer service rep because you couldn't just book your airline tickets online. And like I'm of that unique age where my early memories are still before you could just do everything online and everything had to have a website. And so certainly you're right as far as it's not 1965, but I don't know. Would you, is there, I mean, we've talked about this before. There's probably, you're at an age now where is there anyone you would wait in line to go see? That you, I feel like we talked about this before and you're like, no.
Well, again, I'm not going to spend $500 for anybody.
Okay.
You know, it's more of a monetary, I'm not doing that. And I just don't think anything is worth that. But yeah, there are people I would like to go see. I am not the target audience for this, though.
I know.
You know?
I have a harder time imagining you camping out.
That would never happen. 844-967-2789. Do you want to go back to the old days of standing in line for tickets? Texter from the 608 checking in. I can remember standing in line at JCPenney's at Northridge Mall for concert tickets in the early 90s. Ticketmaster then allowing scalpers to buy an unlimited number of tickets to resell them at overinflated prices. Ticketmaster is horrible.
Because that's the thing now. It's like scalping used to be illegal, right?
Oh, yeah. And people would literally be standing on the corner as you were going to the show going, "Psst, buddy, do you need tickets?"
And so how is it? It's like, what changed? And this could be an ignorant comment on my part, but so why was scalping in person illegal for any kind of event, for a sporting event, for a concert, where if you bought tickets at face value and then you tried to turn around and sell them for a profit in person, that was illegal. But then now it's an entire business model now that it's online.
Because those were individuals making money, and now it's a business model and it's a corporation making money. That's why it's okay.
Is that as simple as it? They're just like, well, you can make a profit because of these like marketplaces exist now. So now it's legal, but you just can't do it
in person.
It's like here, this is maybe a stretch to make this analogy, but it's like, oh, if it's coming from a pharmaceutical company and we're giving you and prescribing you like super addictive medicine, that's just the healthcare system. But if you're selling heroin on the corner, that's illegal.
Different set of rules. Different rules.
All right. Well, that was a little bit of a digress, but I don't know. I feel like this is it'll be interesting to see if this is successful. If more people get in line with like more, because I would imagine it has to come from the artist.
Oh, absolutely.
Of choosing, this is how I want my tickets to be sold. And maybe someone who's as big as Taylor Swift could never actually.
How would you accommodate that? Seriously. And I don't even think, some of these venues, would they even have enough staff to, if Fiserv was hosting Taylor Swift and they only sold tickets in person, just the hours it would take to do each individual transaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And like I don't even know where the ticket booth is at Fiserv. They have to have one. I'm sure there's a will call. Is there?
That's a really good question.
For the amount of times I've been there and just walked, you walk in, you go through the metal detector and you go to your seat. I can't think of where the ticket booth even is there.
There's got to be one somewhere.
Right?
Yeah, you certainly think so.
I know there's one at Panther Arena. I know where that is, but I can't think of where it is at Fiserv. But that is a really good point as far as actually having the people power to process these things instead of having a computer do it.
Right.
Of going back. And I'm just trying to imagine, I think I've told this story before, but granted, he's in a little bit of trouble right now. But years ago, the Dalai Lama came to Berkeley's campus, and people slept overnight.
Wow.
And you couldn't buy tickets online. You had to buy tickets at the box office on UC Berkeley's campus. And I remember specifically because I wasn't standing in line, but I was tabling for the Vagina Monologues, which I was in. Big shock, I know. And we took the opportunity to talk to everyone who was forced in to be in line and tried to sell them on coming to see our show.
On your show. Nice. Nicely done.
We're like, I know you're really excited to see the Dalai Lama, but in 2 weeks you could come back and you could see us talk about vaginas for an hour and a half,
which would be so worth it and so Dalai Lama like.
so
similar.
I do remember that and being so astounded by people's willingness to sleep over in person and watch, or just to be able to get tickets to see the Dalai Lama speak in person. And that was kind of, I think, the last time I remember. This would have been 2009, 2010.
But don't the Brewers do it? People camp out for when Brewers tickets go on sale, don't they? Individual tickets, and they have their tents, and there's an audience for it, I think.
I do. So go ahead.
It's going to be more logistical. I can see the logistical issues, though.
I do know that people still sleep and camp out to be the first person to buy something, like the new iPhone or the new piece of gadgetry of some sort, or like the new shoes. And so
Right.
I know when it comes to like purchasing something that's going to be have a limited supply, there's plenty of people who are still willing to do that. So like, I think the desire is there. It's more of, or like the willingness to do it is there for a lot of people. And I also think it's kind of like, I kind of like it because right now it's not who is willing to spend the most money. It's like, there's also value in your time of like, who's willing to sacrifice the most amount of time to go see this person, which I don't know. There's something there, but all right. Well, when we come back, we will wrap up today's show. I'll tell you if you've been wondering since I dropped the little Easter egg earlier, what is Wisconsin's favorite Easter egg Easter candy compared to other states? I'll let you know what that is on the other side of the break. This is As Goes Wisconsin.
Everyone deserves freedom over their own body. Everyone deserves the right to choose. Everyone deserves access to quality, affordable healthcare without judgment. And everyone deserves a healthcare provider who stands firm on these beliefs. This is the Planned Parenthood experience at any one of our 22 health centers across Wisconsin that offer reproductive healthcare services for everyone. Book your appointment today at ppwi.org. That's ppwi.org and get the care you deserve, because we will provide that care no matter what.
Todos merecen la libertad sobre su propio cuerpo. Todo el mundo merece el derecho a elegir. Todos merecen acceso a una atención médica económica y de calidad sin juicios. Y todos merecen un proveedor de atención médica que se mantenga firme en estas creencias. Esta es la experiencia de Planned Parenthood en cualquiera de nuestros 22 centros de salud en Wisconsin, que ofrecen servicios de salud reproductiva para todos. Haz una cita hoy en ppwi.org y obtenga la atención que se merece, porque nosotros le brindaremos esa atención, pase lo que pase.
You are listening to your local Civic Media radio station on air. Thank you. Did you know we are always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app too? And if you miss a show or game, find it wherever you get your podcasts or on our website, civicmedia.us.
My Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
But early detection allowed us to take control of the situation together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Here's your updated forecast on the Shaw. High temperatures reach up to 76 this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Clear skies tonight. Lows level off around 55. Bright sunshine again tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 80. Dry with temperatures well above average Thursday and Friday, and highs from the mid-70s to the upper 70s. For Civic Media, I'm meteorologist Eric Height. Currently, it's 72 degrees.
The Shaw 101 FM, your fix for progressive talk. From Big Bend to Menominee Falls. Always streaming at WAUKradio.com.
Goes Wisconsin. I am Kristen Bry, and she is Jane Matnair. And we are wrapping up today's show. Before we were talking about, would you like to go back to the days of standing in line for your concert tickets if it meant you didn't have to go through Ticketmaster anymore and pay those exorbitant fees, or
Ridiculous
just in general
fees.
have to pay Ticketmaster? Yeah. And so you said we had a text?
844-967-2789. You can call and or text from the 608. You were talking, Kristen, about finding the box office at Fiserv Forum. There is a box office at Fiserv. I had to go there when the Ticketmaster app did not allow me to access my digital tickets, and they printed off paper tickets right there for me. So when you're looking at the entrance doors to Fiserv, the box office is located in the far right set of doors.
Far right set of doors. Okay. I will keep an eye out for it the next time I am in the Deer District. I'm like, all right, there it is when I need to find it. I'm curious how many people were working in the box office when they had to go get that ticket printed. My guess is 2.
Yeah, probably.
My guess is 2.
Mhm.
All right. Well, if you had to guess, I guess if you had to guess what the most popular amongst the most amount of states Easter candy is, what would you guess?
Countrywide.
So this is based off top selling Easter candies by state that was bought via Instacart. So it's probably not the most accurate as far as when you're thinking about all the different ways people buy, but as far as Instacart and having that data, there's one. And it's not our most popular, but in majority of states, looking at this map, this color coded map, there is this candy that is the most popular.
Isn't it jelly beans?
No.
Not going the classic route.
Not going the classic route. Going the delicious route.
Cadbury eggs?
That is Cadbury cream eggs are only the most popular in Arkansas and Alabama.
Okay. It's not Peeps.
No.
Good. Because those are only good for science experiments. Don't eat them. Malted milk balls.
That's not an Easter candy.
And if they're egg-shaped, they are.
Have you seen egg-shaped malted malt balls?
Yes, I just killed a bag last week.
Oh wow, I didn't know that they came in egg-shaped. I just thought they were little.
No. You can get and they're pastel colored. So it's official. Yeah, so it's officially Easter.
All right, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
So the most popular, this is not in Wisconsin, but most popular in most states is Reese's peanut butter eggs.
Oh.
They are very good. Those things are addicting. They're very good.
And I suppose, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is not new, but it's a newer, at least for me.
Yeah.
It's a newer Easter treat.
I would say that. But the thing that's funny is so ours is Kinder chocolate candy egg with a surprise toy inside.
That's a lie.
I don't know. That's via Instacart, and we share that being the with Kentucky. So Wisconsin and Kentucky, the most popular Easter candy was the Kinder chocolate candy egg with a surprise toy inside. Jelly beans were the most popular in Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, and Ohio. And then in a handful of states, so in Florida, Mississippi, West Virginia, Nebraska, and South Dakota, it's just Hershey's milk chocolate, which doesn't feel like Easter candy. It's just chocolate.
It's a chocolate bar?
And the same thing with North Dakota. Oh, and this is Nebraska. The other one was Kansas, Iowa, Pennsylvania. It's Reese's peanut butter cups, which also doesn't feel specific to Easter at all. So, actually the Kinder chocolate candy egg, also a big hit in Hawaii.
That's complete BS. I don't buy that for a second. I have never heard of that candy. 844-967-2789. We are all across the state. I want to know what is the name of this thing?
It's a Kinder chocolate candy egg with a surprise toy inside. So the packaging is basically, it's an egg, and then it's like red and white. I've seen these. I don't think I've ever had one, but I'm looking at it right now, and I feel like I've definitely seen these at the store.
I think the Kinder Chocolate people are behind this bogus survey. Let me know if you've ever. I've
They only
never
won
heard of this
3
candy.
states. If they were really, this is like when the Republicans are like, "Oh, they cheated in 2020." It's like, well, why did the rest of you win then? If we just rigged the Trump one. If we were gonna, we wouldn't rig all of them to get power and everything, but that's the only one we really need to get rid of. But you guys are fine. Like
they're trying to take over slowly. They just don't want it to be an obvious takeover.
That's really cynical of you, but I'm gonna buy you one. Now tomorrow I'm gonna bring you a Kinder Joy chocolate egg with a little toy inside. It's
Fabulous.
like a Happy Meal.
Made out of sugar.
Yes. Well, no, the toy itself is like actually a little plastic toy you can play with that I'm sure at some point parents step on and curse their name.
Most likely.
That's actually funny. I was watching some TikTok account where it's like guys just doing stupid things, and like that's what the account does, is just guys doing things, and it's sometimes funny. And there was basically a lineup of like 5 boxes, 4 boxes, 3 boxes, 2 boxes, and I think that was it. And in one of the boxes in each row, it was all Legos.
Okay.
And so 5 people in the first round jumped through the box, and 4 out of the 5 were fine, landed flat on their feet. But one person for each round, not knowing which one they were going to be, would just jump through and just land on Legos, and you just see them like collapse to the floor in so much pain. I was like, this is kind of entertaining, but this is why boys are the weaker sex. Like, why are you opting in to do this?
I'm gonna jump from the roof into the pool. Watch this.
All right. Well, coming up tomorrow, Mr. Greg Bach will be here as he always is on Wednesday. We are going to have an update from the Waukesha School about the Waukesha School Board District from 2 different parents. To one you've heard before, Sarah Harrison, but also Dave Dringenberg will be here. And then the guy who runs the Wisconsin Dive Bar's Instagram account is also going to be here. And we're going to see how good he is at recognizing the difference between a dive bar and a hipster bar. Because sometimes it's hard to tell, but one's a little bit more authentic than the other in my calculation. But come back tomorrow at 11 a.m. when we will do this all again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling. Thank you for texting. This has been As Goes Wisconsin.